Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Uh, Depending on what time it is when you're watching this video, it is currently 7 p.m. and I am in the Mojave Desert. I am about to leave California. I was going to title this video Jamie Leaving California, which is true, but I'm not moving out just yet. So, what am I doing? Call this the summer tour because that's what it is. We have the boat and we are going halfway across country. We're going to be driving the boat to Arkansas. There are some stops on the trip coming back and things like that. We're going to be fishing in a lot of places. I'm going to take advantage of this time right now. And this is a solo trip. I'm a lone wolf, as some of you know, but that's what we're doing. So, like I said, we're going to Arkansas. I can stop anywhere to go fishing. I've always wanted to do Lake Fork or what have you in Texas. So depending on this trip, we might do that. We are going to be fishing some places in Arkansas, like Lake Washita, some other places, and especially those backwater areas that I love to fish down south. But what I wanted to say is I know I told you all I was going to tell you more details, and now here it is, a video, and I'm actually on the road. So, but what we have, I have a lot of gear. I always talk about these giveaway and things like that, but the back of my truck, I have a whole lot of that Stanley gear and some other stuff. Um, if you're along the way, anything like that, shoot, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Jamie Aston, that's the Instagram name, Jamie Aston. And maybe we can do a meetup somewhere along the interstate. If you're along I-40 anywhere around there, on this trip or the one coming back, and get some free gear. I like to meet you and just get some free stuff. So, but that's what we're doing. So you all stay tuned. Please stay tuned. I'm gonna title all of these videos summer tour number, 1, 2, 3, what have you. And I'm gonna get all these videos uploaded. You all haven't seen me fish a lot, doesn't mean I'm not fishing. I'm fishing and just doing a lot of other stuff as well. But this is a strictly fishing trip. No hunting, nothing like that. This is straight up fishing. So, be fishing at least every other day in some form or fashion. So hopefully get all the videos edited up that evening and post them up, and you all check out what we're doing. If you're in the area, hit me up. Let's get on out there. What kind of fishing we're gonna be doing? Bass fishing, gar fishing, catfish fishing. Like Washita, I might even go out there for some stripers. Bowfin, we're gonna be hitting those up heavy. I want to take some bowfin back. I have my mountain bike back here as well, so that I can go in some of these backwoods. Still do some kayak fishing. Although I have the boat, we'll still do kayak fishing and things like that. So, I'm going to be on the road for a while. And so you all just stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I've got some invites for some guys to go fishing. On this trip, I'm probably going to do the walleye fishing in Nebraska. There's a guy, Nick, he invited me out to that. So we're going to end up doing that one. There's another invite to do some fishing over in Arizona. I'm just going to pass through on this trip. I'll fly back out there another day to do some fishing, But, same with you all. I tell you, let me know. I had an interesting incident that happened in California a few days ago. And that was this guy from Oregon ended up kind of just wanting to talk to me about my boat, and then he recognized me and said, "Oh, I watch your videos." Like, oh, that was really cool. So that's what I'm saying. If you all see me, if you want to see me, I don't mind stopping, along my trek, Oklahoma. I'm not sure what part. I don't think I'm gonna go down to Dallas or anything like that just yet. I might. We'll see. I might just go on down south through Texas. I'm not sure just yet, but there was something else I was gonna say. Anywho, I'm just sitting at a rest stop right now. These past few weeks have been busy. That's what I was gonna say. um, for the boat. You know, a lot of people watch different reasons. I get a comment on the Mare and the Ford video like every day. But some people watch for the kayak stuff, some of the old kayak stuff. Some people watch for the bass tracker stuff. You know, all this random stuff. But the boat, man, I have a new video coming out, which is year 3 with the boat, or starting my 3rd year modifications. And I have pretty much overhauled this boat now. I just did another major service, and this time I worked on the trailer. We changed out all of the bearings, repack those things, all of that stuff. So I have videos to show you all how to do that. Complete 100% walkthrough, not just, oh, do this. No, it's complete walkthrough. We did all the service again. We greased everything up and down because I'm doing, at the end of this thing, I'm probably going to put 5,000 miles on the vehicle and the boat and all of that stuff. So I didn't want to have any place where I could be stuck on the road by myself. I actually bought a spare tire. A lot of people bought a spare tire on their first, when they first got the boat. I didn't. I held off for a while, but I ran out and bought one because I didn't want any type of incidents or anything like that. So, you know, the bottom line, gonna be slow rolling it. You know, that's why I left late. You know, I like to drive at night and things like that. I've already put 6-7 hours in or something like that. But you know, probably go ahead and drive most of the night or all night and see where I end up, and you know, all of that stuff. So, but I just want to say, you know, you all stay tuned, leave a comment. If you are along the way or anything, you know, let me know. On the return leg, I'm gonna do another one. We're gonna be up north on 80, on Interstate 80. So you know, if you're along that path, then, you know, let me know. We can see what we can do. Like I said, there is gonna be a stop in Nebraska, so that'll probably be like Oklahoma, Kansas, all of that type of stuff. So Texas, Louisiana, you let me know. You know, I'll be down in Louisiana too. Be down in Louisiana, of course, Arkansas for the majority of the trip. We'll do some some Texas stuff maybe. You know, I really want to get up to Missouri. That's what I'm trying to see if I squeeze that one in. But you know, just stay tuned. And until then, you all check out some of these other guys like Richard Gene, the Fishing Machine. You all know I watch him. And he just started, he went on his little tour. He went over and actually fished with Jimmy Houston. I think Jimmy Houston wanted him more than Richard wanted Jimmy Houston. Richard Gene was probably, you know, happy that Houston reached out to him. But Houston is always on his channel like, oh, you know, spread my name around, spread my video. We want people. You know, those old guys who we all know, Jimmy Houston, Roland Martin. Roland Martin putting out some good stuff, and he's real down home. I like Roland Martin. But you know, they put out a lot of content, but that's what, I mean, it's still a job for them. That's what, you know, got them where they are. And now the world has changed. We're not stuck to just watching their fishing show on, you know, once a week or whatever it is. You know, we can watch all of you all fishing anytime you post a video. So, you know, they've had to change their game up. You know, and Richard Gene, you know, is, my goodness, his content is amazing. So you know, I think Jimmy got a hold of him just to get some of his viewers and stuff like that. But you know, all of my stuff is organic. I started posting videos just because of mainly because of Uncle Steve, you know, videos. He doesn't post anymore. But a lot of people are like, oh, you go fishing, we don't see the fish. It's like, yeah, I throw them back, you know. So I started bringing adventures along, and some of you all started watching me and liking me or something. So I definitely appreciate that. That's why I'm always excited to meet you all, or to even read your comments. Everyone knows, I mean, if you write me, for the most part, probably about 95%, I will write back, thumb up, you know, like, love, what have you. If you ask a question, especially, I'll respond back. I get emails all the time on random stuff, you know. Jamie, what about this, or how to do that? And I always reply back, you know, to try to help any way I can try to help. There's actually a couple of projects I'm working on right now because someone wrote an email and said, hey, can you think about making something like this? Like, I think we can do that. So I got time right now. So, you know, we're just going to go ahead and get it going. So, anywho, thank you all for tuning in. I probably give it about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna start back driving. But I'll probably post a video, an update, or something like that. It's titled fishing again because it is fishing related. Like, if it doesn't say fishing again, it's usually not fishing. And that's what I guarantee to you all. But I definitely want to title this to let you know that there's some fishing coming. But follow me on Instagram, Jamie Aston. And especially if you might be on that 40 corridor, I might have to go to sleep at one point, so I'm gonna be sitting somewhere and waiting. So I don't mind getting off track a little bit. But if you can be in the area, something like that, hit me up, private message on Instagram. Let me know where you will be or might be. Shoot, I don't know. I might even mail some stuff off. Some of it's too big. That's why it's gonna be. I like to do a face to face because I don't want to have to pay for mailing something that's a little big. But the other stuff, yeah, we could put it in the mailbox. The breezy boxes are doing good. I even brought all my stuff with me. I gotta mail something off today or tomorrow, actually. So, orders come in, and I appreciate everyone that watches the videos, and especially looking forward to that breezy box and other things. It's really, really windy right now at the Mojave. I wanted to, like, you might be able to see that tree back there. It's crazy out there. I wanted to do this outside, but it's so gusty until it was about pushing me. So it would have just been a whole lot of camera noise out there. But so far, the boat's trailered really good. And, it's been a pretty easy trip. I don't mind driving personally. I always fly back there. Shoot, I've been to Arkansas. I don't know how many times this week already. I mean, this year. I spent a lot of time back there. But I said, I want to drive in. I need to take some stuff in for the deer camp. So, got a whole lot of stuff like there. And I definitely want to at least get my boat back there one time. I think I need to go ahead and just get a boat for there. And that's another thing I'm looking for, maybe a truck or a car out here to just have it out there. So need to get one of those. But anywho, got a few people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Say something, otherwise, hello, hello, hello. Got a little time to respond back right now, and QA or even request. I don't know what kind of be request. I mean, I do a whole lot of type of fishing. But this trip we're gonna be fishing for a little bit of everything, targeted, not just going out there and seeing what bites, but we're gonna target a few different species and things like that. There's a cat back in Arkansas that I started fishing with on my last trip. Oh my goodness, the man loves fishing. And I just found my cameras yesterday. That's why some of this content has not been posted, because I lost cameras with the memory on it, with the data. And this one guy, he loves fishing so much. Hey, what's up, Detroit? Respect back to you. Thank you for watching, man. And he loves fishing so doggone much. I mean, half the video is me laughing. So we're going to get him on this trip. We're going to fish with him a few times. But he loves fishing so much until it's just like, I feel it, because I get the same thing back, and every response, and he would follow up every response. Oh Lord. Lord have mercy. We just talk about fishing. He just have to shake it off and just start getting excited. And his favorite bait. He talked about that red wiggler so much until, I mean, it was just funny. I mean, I'm back behind him just laughing because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed fishing with it so much. So, I took a couple of guys out fishing in California this past month, and we went out. We did okay. But that's one thing I can guarantee, man. The water is. I haven't fished enough out there to in some of those lakes. Tried a new lake, Bullard's Bar. It's not new, but new for me. I caught some fish out there, some bass, a lot of spotted bass. But I know in Arkansas, I'm gonna be, some of these waters I know because I just grew up fishing them. I know what's in there and where and how to fish it. different places require different techniques, you know. At the end, fishing is fishing, but you know, different water, different types of water. So that's what, my goodness, I can't wait to get the boat in some of these places. The kayak is good, you know, I love having my kayak in those waters and everything, but you know, now I can get out into some waters that might have gators in them, you know, because I'm not putting my kayak in anything without gators. I go in with snakes all the time, you know, but you know, alligators, no, no, no. Shoot, usually I don't even have encounters with snakes in California, but this year I've met my fair share of rattlesnakes, and one of them was such a well, two of them were close encounters, but one was a really close encounter. Reminds me of when I was fishing in Arkansas, the worst snake encounter, because I don't mind snakes for the most part, but I mean, this one, when a snake scares me, it's because it almost got me, you know. And I was fishing, and there were so many water moccasins out. It was early spring. My brother and I was out there, and I was actually bold enough. I was antagonizing those snakes, and this one turned back, and it's just looking at me. And I'm like, why is that little snake looking back? It swam off and just can't turn back and looked at me. And it's almost like, you know, my story is because I had this lure, and now I start throwing the lure at the snake and just antagonizing the crap out of him. Like I was doing others. I was throwing rocks at him and doing all this stuff. You know, we counted about 20 that day. And this thing was looking back. And, you know, when you're fishing from the bank, you kind of walk along the bank. If I would have taken one more step, I would have gotten tagged by the biggest water moccasin I've ever seen. And when I looked down, it was just balled up, you know, coiled up right beside me, looking up at me. Right there. It could have got me anytime it wanted to. And it petrified me right there at that spot because it was so camouflaged I couldn't see it. And I was stuck. And my brother, he was thankfully there, and because I couldn't move, he literally picked me up, moved me, and after he put me down, I was shaking. And now it was like, you know, everywhere I looked was a snake. You know, even though we counted 20 that day, everywhere I looked at that point was a snake. And you know, but that's the worst. It's been up until this last time I was turkey hunting, and this rattlesnake shook the whole bushes. Where I was been hunting, laying on the ground, rolling around. I had this turkey coming up over. I was crawling and stuff, you know, a previous day. I went back to this spot, and the rattlesnake claimed it for himself, and he let me know because he just shook the whole bush. And man, that got me nervous enough right there that by the time I got off the mountain, I had such a major headache. Back was hurting. I think I was just too tense because I didn't see it. That's always that one. It's those no-see-ums. And this other one, I was trying to take some pictures, and I saw him, you know, at the right time. Him or her. It was a big one too. But you know, anywho, enough about snakes. We're talking about fishing. So you all, thank you for tuning in. You know, we got some good fishing coming up. We got some really, really good fishing coming up. So if you are anywhere along the way, you think you can get out to me, or we can plan up something, you know, it doesn't have to just be over these next couple of days. You know, let's see what we can do. Otherwise, I'm going to try to see if I know other people, or if you're not along the corridor, it's not really fair. So I'm going to try to see if I can, in videos, have some type of an Easter egg or something to get this stuff. I need to give it away. I have a lot of stuff that's just been sitting at home, and it's got to be given away. And I want to give it to you all. I want to give everything I can to you all. You support me, you watch the stuff, and I just truly appreciate it. So, you know, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get back on the road. Seat belt. And another thing we have is I just installed, I've been running dash cameras for years, if you all seen any of those past videos, but I installed a new dash camera that runs not only at the front, but at the back. So if anything, you know, crazy happens along the trip, there will be video of it. But other than that, I'm just slow rolling and driving as careful as I can, because I don't want, I need to get where I'm going to and get back. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get on the road. Again, hit me up on Instagram. If you hit me up on Instagram, you know, I don't have Facebook. I don't do Facebook. I know I should. But Facebook doesn't like me, doesn't want me. I changed my name, and then now I can't get back into my account because they created a Facebook account from my Instagram account, which is, you know, Facebook owns Instagram. And when I changed my name to try to make it and take over, I went through a limbo of trying to send in my ID and then all this type of stuff. And yeah, it's not happening. So I'm done with them. I'm not even going to attempt it anymore. But Instagram, you can hit me up on there, and you'll get more of a response from me on there. I see my YouTube comments and everything, but while I'm driving and stopping, Instagram would be where it is. That's where you can get me. As close as texting me as you can get right there. And a lot of people know it because they do it. So, anywho, thank you all for watching. I hope you all are all safe. You know, if you worry about COVID stuff, I'm, you know, mask, hand sanitizer. I've always done that previous COVID crap. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing some more kayak videos on this trip. I got a couple of kayaks in Arkansas, so yeah, I always fish out of kayak. Kayak fishing is probably my favorite form of fishing, honestly. The most comfortable form of fishing is probably the float tube, but kayak is my first love. You know, outside of fishing from the bank, I will fish. I love fishing from the bank. Other day I was fishing with the doggone telescopic pole, like an old cane pole, bamboo pole, you know. So I don't just do one way of fishing. I even brought my fly rod. Right now I brought two bait casters, a spinning rod, and a fly rod. Only brought those three because I have a lot of it in Arkansas. So I didn't have to bring all of that stuff. And I already have the kayaks in Arkansas. So there are some waters that I'm not even thinking about putting the boat into. It's just gonna be the kayak. So yeah, kayak fishing, the boat fishing, shore fishing, you know, all of it. This is just a trip straight up fishing. So stay tuned. And I'm gonna also be posting some of the back videos, products, and since I found the memory cards and everything finally. I mean, they've been lost for like 2 months now. Some of the spring fishing I did. Yeah, you know, see there, there he is, fellas, you know. You know, it's good meeting you too. It was good meeting you too, you know. So like I said, on that trip, he caught me, people. He caught me. I had the boat with me that day because I was about to change the bearings. So I was riding the boat around to warm up the grease, you know, in the hubs. And he just happened to catch me right then and there, just mainly because the boat. Any other reason, I don't think he would even say anything. But, you know, I've just been looking like another white truck somewhere. Yeah, I know who you are. I know who you are. I was just talking about you earlier in the video, you know, and so he came up to ask me about the bass tracker because he's thinking about getting one, and he's like, "Wait, I think you know, you do YouTube videos?" Yes, I do. Oh man, I was just watching your videos, you know. So it's really that was a highlight of the day, you know. When I get comments from you all, I'm walking along, I look at my phone, I see YouTube, and say, "Oh shoot," you know. I'm always excited, you know, to reply back to you in any way I can. Even feedback. I know some of the videos, dog barking, neighbor's dog. Some of the videos, the wind or the sound. I have tried. Let me tell you all, I have 2 GoPro cameras back here. I hate GoPro with a passion. I'm selling them. I don't want them. They're buggy. There's a lot of videos that I can't upload because the GoPro camera automatically shuts down, or it freezes up, or the data is corrupt. I have 2 of these puppies. I bought them because they were 4K and all of this type of stuff. I know a lot of people use them. I don't understand how. I read online, and there's a lot of people with them, and they're buggy. They chime the same thing I'm experiencing. So I'm getting rid of it. I'm going back to Sony or something else. You know, I can't continue to lose video, and they're just too unreliable for me. So some people say, my brother was saying, "Oh no, the 8 is way better now. You know, you won't have those issues." I don't know. I don't know. But I wish I was going to Lake Superior now on this trip. But see, the thing is what one of my goals is, like, with the stuff I'm making by selling the breezy boxes, I want to be putting that back into the fishing and back to the channel. So that's where a lot of these invites have come from. Like the guy in Nebraska, they've actually bought 2 breezy boxes. They're like, "Come on up here, let's do some walleye fishing." Guy in Arizona, come on up here. Let's do some other fishing over here. Um, you know, so I want to take you all up on your offer. That was an offer to come on up to Oregon. Uh, you know, and so, you know, and I got time like this, I want to say, you know, that's actually a weekend trip. You know, fly out Friday, go fishing on that Saturday, and I can be back home on Sunday, you know, and go fishing. So and do some, those are new experiences and some places I probably would not fish. So the more and more videos I can post and everything like that, you know, and somebody wants to fish with me out there, you know, yeah, I'll get out there. So one day for Lake Superior, I would love to fish in, like, you know, the land of 10,000 lakes, you know, bucket list fish. You know, this sounds weird. I still haven't caught a carp. Now, the reason why I don't catch carp, because I don't fish for carp, but I want to catch all the fish. Bucket list, I want to catch a walleye. I want to catch a muskie. I've caught plenty of pike in my life, you know. Um, that's what I want to do. I want to fish. Oh my goodness. Last year, I had walleye for the first time last year. I've always heard walleye was good, but oh my Lord. Walleye is delicious, people. And that impressed me right there. Not just to, I don't want to catch them just because I want to eat them, but it was just, I've never had it, and it was actually a very tasty fish. But I would love to catch walleye. Muskie, like I said. Have I caught? I haven't even caught like a yellow perch. A lot of the waters I fish at back home, yellow perch. White perch, yes, but I haven't caught a yellow perch. You know, paddlefish, I know people snag those things, you know, so I have to get into snagging. You know, shoot, I just still after a flathead catfish. I catch shell, blue, and all that stuff, but flathead, live bait, flathead. So I want to get one of those. Hopefully on this trip, I'm gonna get a flathead. I'm gonna put some work in for that. Saugeye, saugers, you know, whatever. They're like a walleye. I'll take one of those, either one of those puppies. You know, and I'm, as you know, I like pan fishing, you know, so I don't, there are probably species I haven't caught of that too. Can't think of any right now, but there are definitely some. There's a thing that people are doing in Japan right now, that micro fishing. Have you all heard of that? Where people are trying to catch the smallest fish. You know, it's one thing to catch, you know, we're always after trophies. Some of my family members always send me these big pictures of people catching these monster fish, groupers and stuff in the ocean. They're like, oh, that's a big fish, you know, and they're like, and these are people who don't fish. You show them a picture of a bass, they're like, oh, that's a little fish. They don't get, you know, when you're targeting specific species. It's one thing to go out and put live bait in the water and get whatever's swimming through there that hits it. It's another thing to target a species with a lure, and go out and say, I'm going to catch X, and you go out there and you do that. You know, all of that requires skill, knowledge on that species, things like that. You know, that some people who don't fish, they don't get it. You know, the addiction of bass fishing for a 1 pound fish or less, you know, and you can catch, and you get excited about that, and you're not going to eat it, and you can put it back in the water. You know, they're like, oh, I don't get it. I don't understand. Fishing is boring, X, Y, and Z. They do not get it, you know. But probably one of the most relaxing things I can do. And big or small, that's why I say big or small, I catch them all. You know, I don't really, you know, I'm not really too particular. Like I said, the hardest thing to fish for sometimes is that, you know, is fishing with bait. I was reading a comment. I'm gonna answer, but fishing like, you know, with just like stink bait or something, just sitting there and waiting. You know, I like to have a little more action. So sometimes I like to catch my bait that I'm gonna put on the line and then fish with it. That's pretty exciting right there. Do I recommend Panoptix? Now, Panoptix, you know, I have the Panoptix Live Scope. It's fun. It's a neat toy. It's definitely improved the game on crappie. It's hard not to catch crappie on Live Scope. I've found big catfish sitting around, you know, I see that. Bass fishing, has Live Scope like changed the game for me? Not really. I still use, you know, I can see if fish are active. One of the things is you can see if something's like, especially if you're jigging or bottom fishing or something, you can see if they're actually interested in your bait or not. You see even the color. I've gone out, tested many times, live bait versus regular, artificial jigs and things like that, tube by side, and looking at live scope. I mean, I just sometimes go out there and just play around with it. And you can see if a fish likes that color or not. Put two of the same thing, different colors. And yeah, they don't want that one. Oh yeah, they're after this one. Oh shoot, there are times where, man, they're hitting jigs faster than they're hitting the doggone live bait, things like that. So, but is it required? I'm always gonna say no electronics are required for fishing. Can they make it better? Yes, they can. Live scope is one of those things where probably the most optimum setup you can have is have it on its own transducer, on its own pole. There's a product called Pole Deucer. I made my own thing where I can put my live scope on the side and it's not attached to the trolling motor, but I don't take it out much because, I'd rather just keep it clean and keep it on trolling motor, because when it's on the trolling motor, it just works. But the problem is when you have it on the trolling motor, you don't have forward view, because if you have a spot lock or if you're always using the trolling motor and the boat's moving around, things like that, then now your forward view is always going to be moving around your host. So a lot of time I just keep my live scope on down view, and I'm really still using like a regular electronics, just finding fish, if they're active or not. You use when I'm cruising around, I'm using traditional, you know, and then when I'm scouting around, I might be using structure scan, things like that, just to see what type of structure around. But when I'm trying to find fish, traditional, looking for arches, things like that. And when I find the fish, I might drop a live scope and look and see how active they are. So, but for bass fishing, I mean, a lot of people are saying it, but it just has not just changed the game for bass fishing. For crappie, definitely. For catfish, yeah. For bass, you still cast, find them. I'll put it on forward view sometimes to find fish out there swimming. So I can say, oh, shoot, 20 yards away, not only are they active, but I see them, at a specific depth. And then I can throw a lure out there. But just to watch it in video game fishing on forward, you're not going to do that. Video game fishing and down, yeah, you can do that easy. And but I still think it's the hottest thing out there. You said, do I recommend it? It's the hottest thing out there. And I think that's what got a lot of people, Garmin. I've been using Garmin since the black and white days. In fact, I have a couple more Garmin's I'm taking to my kayaks in Arkansas that I previously used. So I'm going to be installing those on my kayak. And those are black and white units. And I still use my Garmin black and white units. They have, on one of them, they have the little A scope. And back in the day, I used to say this was my live fishing, because they had the A scope comb on the left side. The main screen was the arches and things like that. But on the right, you could turn on A scope and you could jig, and it was all live. When you see a fish, it come into the cone, it was all live. And I love that feature. And that was live scope before this live scope for me. But Garmin has always been easy to use. Never had an issue. Their customer service is great. Whew. I'm just not a fan of Lowrance. I love their new fish reveal. They must have a patent on that or something. I used to wish, why couldn't they mix that together back in the day? Put the arches with the down imaging and side imaging and stuff like that. But Lowrance has done it, and I'm telling you the truth. As much as I don't want to buy one, even on this trip, I am considering getting that doggone, at least just the low end. I think it's $200. Or $300. There's a rebate right now. But that hook reveal, it's just very neat. If Garmin had that, I think it would be the ultimate package. But a lot of people are buying the Echo Maps now, and mainly because in the future they want to go live scope or Panoptix or something. The Lowrance, they licensed it out to Lowrance after the whole lawsuit thing, but they gave them the old Panoptix. They didn't give them live view. They gave them the old, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same. What I'm looking at right now is the Garmin Force trolling motor. I hate how much it costs. I wish I could do something about that. But you got that. Minn Kota is actually coming out with their new trolling motor. They have a new trolling motor announcement. Ooh, did it already happen, or is it happening this week? But they got a new trolling motor announced. I'm sure it's going to be a brushless motor and all of this type of stuff like that to compete with Lowrance and Garmin. That's what happens. See, Johnson has been sitting back, top dog. Everyone sees Humminbird like, oh, you can't beat their imaging. The Ultrex, if you're gonna get a trolling motor or any other trolling motor, you know, you're gonna stick with them. But now the competition is good, and so Garmin is making other people, Lowrance and Humminbird, uh, actually compete now, rather than just having the best product out there or whatever. But yeah, I finally upgraded the truck. I actually upgraded it last year. I did sell my FJ, and I picked up the Silverado, and I'm liking it. It's doing good for me. I'm actually thinking about it's a Z71 package, but I'm gonna upgrade those shocks. I don't like those too much. So I've been looking at some Fox 2.0s or even a 2.5. I don't know. Gotta save money, DIY, install it myself. So that's really the path where I want to go down. Um, but yeah, if anything, maybe even after this trip, trying to think about getting a bigger transmission cooler or something like that. But yeah. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get on the road. I definitely appreciate you all tuning in, especially the comments, because that engaging keeps the mind going. I gotta wake up, so I can stay fresh and not just survive on Red Bulls and stuff like that. Um, shoot, we'll go ahead and put some more hours on the road. I don't know. I think I want to get in Arizona at least today. Let's just go ahead and get to Arizona, pass through, or New Mexico. I'm not even sure yet. How much I want to drive. Fish find you got on your kayaks. All my kayaks have Garmin fish finders. Garmin Striker, Garmin Echoes, the old Echoes before it was the Echo Map. Thank you. That's the most important thing is I have to drive safe. No texting and driving. I got this boat back here. It's so windy. I haven't felt pushed around or anything like that, but I'm in the Bay Area. I'm just telling you, people can't drive, and everyone's always on their phone texting and things like that. So none of that. Not watching YouTube. I haven't even listened to the radio. I've just been just driving. I mean, and that's how I usually drive. I just drive and listen, and think. And this is a 28-hour drive. There's a lot of thinking I can do on here. A lot of thinking. Before I left, howdy, hey, Fish Miser, what's up? See, he hits me on Instagram. Thank you so much, man. But it's a lot of time to think and reflect and plan. You all, I mean, I'm not sure what you all are doing, how this COVID is still affecting you. In California, made us start wearing masks again and things like that. But and all this other political stuff out there. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. We all have views on things and like that. Man, I just need to go fishing. I'm just, this stuff is burning me out, And I was talking about it in May. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. No, at first my plan was to not even just stop in Arkansas. I was wanting to see if I could even get to North Carolina or something like that. I would love to meet Uncle Steve one day, but the trip just started up a lot later because I actually started doing a lot more projects at home, painting and things like that. So finally finished up a lot of that stuff yesterday. And so it's like now it's time to get on the road. Any fishing at Dan Foley? Whew. I've been doing fishing at Dan Foley. I've actually been fishing at Hilltop and Berryessa, Bullard's Bar. I didn't get a chance to make it to Folsom yet. I think I went. Yeah, I did go to Delta one day. But a lot, I lost one of my Sony cameras I used, and the cameras I had were my GoPros. And earlier I said my GoPro cameras have been so unreliable with them freezing up. I have a great memory card in there, things like that, but they've been freezing up, corrupting my data. Sometimes I'm recording and they'll just shut off, and I don't get an alert and things like that. I knew when I first got them there was an issue because I was hunting and the video was disastrous. And so, but I tried to use them because they shoot 4K and all of this stuff, but I'm getting rid of them. So, yeah. I'm about to salvage a lot of video. What I'm doing is working on a compilation of videos um, from all the stuff that's been going on. So you just see probably a fishing again. And it's just gonna be a lot of random fish, you know. Maybe I'll put in there a subtitle of where I call them and things like that. But it's gonna be a lot of random fishing, kayaking, boat, things like that. You're in Texas. Thank you. Thank you for all of y'all for watching. But where are you in Texas? Where are you in Texas? You know, in case we come on through there. You know, there's a guy I follow on Instagram, Native Fish Houston. Woo, you down there? There was a talk about me going to New Orleans, so we'll see about getting to Houston. But you know, he post a lot of videos of fishing in the creek and things like that. We love fish from the creek and everything. I get excited for that. You know, what type of bow do I shoot right now? I just have a couple of bare bows. I have one in Arkansas, one in California. I actually have my crossbow with me back there because I'm just gonna take it to Arkansas and leave it. You can only shoot your crossbow in California to hunt with during gun season. If I'm gonna be in gun season, I'm gonna use my gun or I'm gonna use a traditional bow. So, but I'll take it down there. So days where I don't feel like using a bow, I'll just use that, you know. But really, I don't know. I might even give it away. I like bows a lot better than crossbows. Actually, it's something about you got to be steady with that with a bow. You know, you have to. It's sporting, I guess. I hate to say something's more sporting than the other. You know, sometimes going back to live scope, it almost feels like cheating. Crappie, you know, when you find crappie, you find them. You know, a schooled up fish, active fish, when they're eating, we're already taking advantage of fish. They're hungry. It's like somebody putting a cheeseburger in front of you when you're hungry. You know, how sporting is it? But that's just what it is. You know, so I'm not gonna go down the path to say something's more sporting than the other. You know, live scope, does it feel like cheating sometimes? Yeah, but then there have been times where I've been fishing and the fishing is so good you have to make yourself stop. The other day I was fishing and doggone it, the brim were so big and they were on their nest and they were hitting everything. They were monsters and they were delicious. I almost felt bad. Almost, you know. But yeah. But the boat, once I get to Arkansas, here are the videos you can look back on the boat. Install videos. Now I'll go ahead and tell you what I installed because I was fishing one day and I got stuck on the lake because I left all of my electronics on. Okay, let me go back. If you looked at my first videos for the boat, I had a battery that I put back there that was just for the electronics. Then I upgraded my trolling motor and I took that battery and then I put it on my trolling motor so I have 24 volts. I put my electronics back on my starter battery. And what happened is I start killing my battery with all the electronics running, and that happens to be one of the reasons why people are liking the Breezy boxes from feedback is that I have a power switch on it, so they can turn off live scope whenever they don't want to use it and just use the one fish finder they're using. Currently, you know, if you have everything networked with Garmin, everything is always running once it's connected to the network. So your live scope is running whether you're using it or not, unless you want to pull the cable. So with the Breezy box, you can flip a switch and turn it off. Oh my goodness. I would love to fish in Florida. Florida is on my bucket list, 100%. I want to catch a peacock bass and I just want to catch one of those big bass down there. You know, the gar fishing, the bowfin. I mean, Florida is probably as close to, I don't know, something special as you can get as far as, you know, for me fishing and being in the humid woods and snake infested, gator infested water. See, I like that type of stuff. That's where I like going in Arkansas. I like being in the backwoods and this thrill of danger in a sense. That's my story. But but yeah, so with the boat, I have install videos coming. After I got stuck, I had to use my trolling motor to get back. It took me about 45 minutes. I was happy I didn't go too far off on the lake to get back. And I was happy that I had enough juice, but I had to conserve my lights because it was at night. I had to conserve that little bit of battery to use my electronics for the mapping, you know, because at night it's hard to tell where you're going. And so I installed a, number one, I have an automatic bilge pump switch. I installed that, so stay tuned for that video. I installed a battery switch that will combine my new battery. Now I have 4 batteries on my boat. This battery switch allows me to combine the starter battery and my electronics battery. So if one goes dead, I need to crank the engine up, I can do that. He said, Jamie, you couldn't crank your engine because you didn't have enough juice. What about that pull cord? Good question. Problem is, to use the pull cord, you need to have tools on your boat. Guess what I didn't have today? I didn't even have a pair of pliers. So I couldn't take the nuts out, the bolts out, to get to where I could put the pull cord on the engine and doggone start it up. It was the worst case scenario. Usually I take, yeah, I have a couple of jump starters that I usually have on the boat. One of these little jump starters, phone charger, things like that. My mom even got me one a while back, so now I got 2. And no, I didn't have it on the boat. Left it at home. So it was the worst case scenario that taught me a lesson right then and there. You know, I need to have a backup plan or a plan that's better than that. Not only did I install that battery switch, but I installed this automatic charging relay, ACR. It's by Blue Sea. So what this does is, when I'm running my engine, as you know, the alternator on the engine is charging up your starter battery. But when it senses that that starter battery is good, it starts charging up my house battery. So now my electronics battery is being charged up. I know Minn Kota has a product that you can do the same thing to start charging up your trolling motor batteries, but I never run out of trolling motor batteries. So, you know, we installed that. Like I said, the trailer, I just did a whole video 2 days ago about how to take off your bearings. What type of, in my video, what I'm going to show you, because I couldn't find this information, what size bearings you need, the product models that came off the boat, the product models that I did purchase, the hub numbers, you know, how to use your grease gun, all of that type of stuff like that. I topped off everything, the trim oil. I greased everything up on the boat with the grease gun. We changed the oil again. We changed the gear oil again. I checked out the prop. We took it off. Everything's good with that. You know, so yeah, there's a Instagram. Instagram is just Jamie Astin, JAIMEASTIN. The same as YouTube. In fact, you know, if you search for Jamie Astin, there's only one other Jamie Astin out there, and it's a female, and she's actually the same age as I am. She lives in like New York or something. The reason why I know that is because back in the day we were at war because we thought one of us was trying to hack the other. And Jamie Astin, just like the YouTube. If you search that, probably you know Xbox, anything out there, PlayStation, any forum out there, I use the same handle for the most part. So JAIMEASTIN on Instagram. Finally, I'm still in the giveaway process. In fact, on this video, all comments on this video, I don't care if it's just hi, but I have a kit. I put out a video not too long ago where it was a Better Boat cleaning products. It had the cleaner, the instant hull cleaner, the boat erasers, the application kit, and some wax. So I'm going to be closing that contest off this week. I have the stuff back here already in the box. All I need to do is put a shipping label on it, and somebody's going to win that. So all comments on this video, I'm going to include it on this video. But especially on those other ones, check it out on Instagram or that video on YouTube. I have the products not only to give away, but I brought them with me back in my toolbox, because when I come out of those muddy waters I'm going to be fishing, I'm going to have to clean my boat, you know. And they did work. In fact, every time I fish, I hit it up with the instant hull cleaner, and then I wax it again. Wax it every other trip, actually, every other trip or what have you. But the instant hull cleaner, I'll go ahead and wipe it down. I haven't had a ring on my boat since I start using the stuff, so it's just too easy to do. So you all, someone's gonna win that. I'm gonna mail that one off. 100%. We're gonna mail that one off this week. All right, so the video has been going for almost 50 minutes right now. So I definitely appreciate you all's comments. Florida, Lake Superior, I heard all of it. I heard all of it. And I want to go fishing there. So you all might be, you know, hearing something in the future where it's like, hey, great, you know, I'm gonna be X. Let's do something, you know. Show me where you go. I don't care if it's shore fishing. I don't care if it's on a boat. I don't care how it's fishing. You know, if we can do it and just fish it, there's one thing I love to do. And there's one thing I'm going to be, every time I go to Arkansas, I do it. But Um, I like to go into the woods sometime and find creeks and old ponds and things like that. And I'll take one rod with me and a lure or something. I just gotta catch one fish out of it. I just gotta catch a fish out of it. I want to see what's in it. And I'll do that all the time just to fish. You know, something I've been doing since I was little. So just to fish for a few minutes sometime, just to say I fished X or I did this, you know, yep, check. I'm happy after that, you know. But I have to explore. And there's just so much in the country. And right now, to have the opportunity to take this trip or whatever and try to see how much fishing I could do, I'm gonna do it. You know, I hope you all are doing the same. I hope you're getting to fish. You know, if you can't get out for COVID or you've been, you know, playing it safe, I get it. You know, when all this stuff started for me, that was the best time. I'm almost mad that things are opening up because of more people on the roads. I was in the mountains. I was fishing, I was hunting, all social distancing. I was all in those places until other people start figuring out they can come outside and the sky wasn't falling. And then I start seeing more and more people out there and more garbage. It's like you go places now and people have, you look on the ground, there are masks on the ground, gloves on the ground, all this garbage, you know. It's just, you know, we still have the same type of people, you know. If you're sick already, you already were staying in trying to get people sick. I just don't like being told what to do if I'm already kind of doing it, you know. I believe everyone, you know, should exercise their own personal responsibility and, you know, and be held accountable for that. I don't like, you know, being told what to do, you know, and because it's like trying to tell somebody if you got to give a person ABC steps, then they don't get it. They're just drones, and that's where you end up. Now you got to put a D step. Do not throw your gloves and garbage on the ground. I was at Home Depot and Lowe's. They're the only place I've seen do this. They have buckets outside to say, dispose of your mask and your gloves in the bucket, you know, but everywhere else you go, it's just garbage on the ground. It's just in California, people vote, you know, oh yeah, let's ban plastic bags so we can stop people from littering. How about don't litter, you know? I still need a bag, you know? Starbucks is giving you fake paper straws and everything. You know, straws that don't work for too long. If I was taking a road trip with that paper straw, it's not gonna work, you know, after an hour. That thing is soaked up. Give me a plastic straw, doggone it. I know what to do with it the same way I do with all the other stuff. I do my best to recycle. I separate my garbage, I do all this stuff until you end up going to dumping. You see, they just mix it all together anyhow. You know. See, now you all are talking. I just, this COVID stuff, I think honestly it's probably done more harm than good. I mean, if I can just be honest, I never said it doesn't exist. I just don't think it's to the extremities that they push it out to be. You know, I think that at the very beginning they said this: if you don't feel good, stay home. If you do this, all those decisions were up to you. And then they said, wait. No. They're too dumb. The people are too dumb. They're not gonna do it. We have to tell them what to do, you know. And then we just fell asleep. That was the perfect mind control. Anytime they make you fear something, fear the police, fear this race, do this, and then you just instantly, you know, start doing whatever it is without thinking. But you know, there's just too many things where if you just take a moment and just start to think for a second, it start not to make sense, you know. And I think that's where we start to be rational, and we have to start coming up with our own solutions. And that's where, you know, it's like everyone's always afraid, and there is gonna happen. You know, oh, we see movies, apocalyptic movies, and things start to go wrong. There's a group of people who aren't prepared, and they're gonna start coming after your stuff, right? Thank you, Danny. It's hard talking with some, and I know, and I hate to say it, but you know, some extreme left people because they're just, whoo, they're just stuck right here. And sometimes you can talk to the right. Back in the day, I remember, man, people were so far right until I was like, man, you're just crazy. I grew up in the country. You know what I mean? I'm still conservative, but I call myself a liberal conservative because I truly believe this. For me personally, I am pretty conservative. I like traditional ways. I'm DIY, I'm a man, I'm X, Y, and Z. But my liberal side says leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. You can be free to do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I do not care. But right now, this is probably the most political time people need to be thinking about this. Our rights are being infringed on. They are taking our rights away. No, let me scratch that. They're not taking anything. We're giving our rights away. We're giving our rights away, and we're giving them away out of fear and anything else. They want you to fear guns. Oh no, the kids are shooting themselves. Don't you care about the kids? They always do whatever to say, don't you care about the kids? Yeah, you were telling us that we need to raise taxes for the schools, yet the money never gets to the schools. It never gets to the schools. The kids' education still is always going down low. Yeah, we care about the kids. What we need to watch is not about even the right or left side right now or what party. Both parties are screwing us. But right now, one is more coming after our rights than the other one is. They are coming for our rights, and they're using whatever method they can to get us to give them up. If they came and knocked on your door right now, let's talk about COVID. They're using your phone right now to track where you've been, how you, and things like that. So you can say, oh yeah, you've been exposed to COVID and now you're going here. These are all hot COVID spots. Well, did you say that they could do that? Did you say that they could do that? No, you didn't say that. They just did it. They just voted in because they know better. Now, if they would have came up and asked you to say, hey, do you mind if we do this? I guarantee your answer would have been, no. No, I don't want you following me. I don't want you doing this. But see, they come up to you and say, oh, we want to do this because we want to make sure doing this saves lives. Saves lives. Man, let me tell you something. We have been, we smell people's bad breath. We touch things that people have salmonellas on their hands. All of these things like that. We're being exposed to germs all our lives, every day, every single day. I don't care how much the government goes in and says that this restaurant has this A, B rating or what have you. Those restaurants are nasty. The employees are not, just like we got people throwing gloves down. What's up, man? What's up, Ralph? Just like we have people throwing gloves on the ground. Not all employees are washing their hands, all because we see signs, all employees wash their hands. Not happening. They're not disinfecting like we're doing. This was an opportunity to change the rules of the world. Store hours are changing. Now that anyone can blame whatever change they do, whatever infringement that they do, they can all blame it on, we're trying to make everyone safe. No, you're not. This is a screw job. And we're going to accept it. Now, I personally don't like TSA. But we all said, oh shoot, no, we can't go into the government or to the airport or anything like this because terrorists might get in and blow up the planes again or do something like that. Well, TSA allows a lot of things to pass them all the time, yet they probably, this is a fact, they harass more people, touchy-feely, and steal your stuff than they do to protect us. But we said okay because we want to be safe. I don't think that can really happen again. Somebody can hijack the plane with a knife. I think if my plane going down, it's going to be because I fought the doggone person that was trying to control the plane. I think it's going to be a mob. We might lose some people, but we're going to get that dude up on there. Yeah, employees using the same glove. I see employees doing this all the time. They got their mask on and they're touching it. They're doing this. So now all your little nasty little gloves that supposedly we're all, it's like The Walking Dead. If you all watch The Walking Dead, I think on the first or second season, they say everyone's infected. They never ever told us how everyone got infected, but are they trying to say we're all infected because the government has put something out in the food or something, and now we all got it and we don't realize we have it, but everyone's using their same mask. And they're touching it with their hands. So if we have it, then, how does the mask really stop it? Some people are thinking like at first, the problem, there's been so much misinformation about this stuff from the very beginning. They flip-flopped all the way around. At the end of the day, you're not going to die. Unfortunately, people who have passed away, a lot of other regular disease like the flu and pneumonia and things like that kill us just the same. You know, um, the glove thing and the mask thing really protects us. To me, I think we probably are contaminating ourselves more and more by having I touch the doorknob and now I get back in my car and I'm touching this and I'm already this is how you get sick right here. Ingesting things are mouth. So the more and more you bring your hands up to your face, that's how you're going to get sick. When you get sick by food poisoning because you brought something, put it into your face right here. So the more and more you're touching around here, that's compromising if this thing is really out there. But shoot, the way the flu vaccine is that we get this little dumbed down dead version of it. We get into our system and our antibodies get created to get past it. Well, dang, it sounds like people who got COVID maybe a little stronger than the people who didn't get COVID now since they doggone got it. Maybe they got the antibodies built up. Next wave that supposedly comes around, they're going to be okay. You know, um, it's not something completely brand new like they want to say. Every year they say the new strain of flu is going to be bad. Every single year, the new strain of flu, go get your flu shots. The majority of people do not get a flu shot. Do we think we're going to get a COVID vaccine? So are they going to force us to now take a COVID vaccine that's truly at this point going to be untested? Are you ready to sign up for that? Are you that afraid to where you're going to let them do these experiments on you? I think with these testing right now they say, oh, the testing is going up. The testing is only going up because exactly they don't know. And I want to say that, I want to give a shadow of doubt at the very beginning to say that, well, you didn't know, so you were just trying to be cautious. But at this point, the more information that has come out, YouTube. Let me tell you about YouTube. This channel that we're on right now. I wish there was a more. I had to take my hat off now. I'm jumping subjects. I'm sorry. It's all the same thing. Bear with me down this rabbit hole. Our rights are being infringed on. You don't think so? Okay, Jamie. Yeah. No one wants to come and take your guns. Yes, they do. They used to mask around. Now they want to. Well, Jamie, you don't need those guns anyhow. Blah, blah, blah. You can just go hunt with a shotgun. No, your shotgun only has a specific hunting range. And you're not going to get a deer using a shotgun out there. Fauci is a doggone fraud. I'm just going to say that right there. He is a fraud. He, just like all these other politicians, they live in their little gated communities, high rises, everything else. They are disconnected from us, people. Don't keep voting these same people in who are career. Fauci's been in that position for so doggone long. The only way these people stay in their protected zones is if we continue to vote them in and put them in. Only way they do that is if they make us think we need them, that they're doing something for us. That's what the Democrats are doing, always trying to tell people about giving away handouts and free stuff. That's what these other people are doing by making you feel like they're working for them. No, they're not working for us. They're doggone securing their doggone platform. Republicans and Democrats, all of them are always, they're bought out. They're bought out. They're owned by corporations. These are the people that's screwing us. It's not run by the people anymore. They don't want guns in our hands because really, if we stop fighting over this stupid stuff that they always put us out, race baiting, everything else, so we can be disconnected. We're fighting over what party and things like that. If we just band together as people, we usually want the same things. Respect, the opportunity. Right now, they're breeding up people who are entitled, but when I think about making America great, I think about a time I grew up around a lot of older people and they did a lot of stuff themselves. My grandmother used to say, if you want something done, do it yourself. You go out there and you work. We live in an information age where there's all this information. YouTube, I do it all the time. I don't care what the issue is. If I have an issue, I'm about to get YouTube it and see if someone out there has given up the information on how to fix something or how to do something. And a lot of times there have. Someone has answered your question. They've been through it. And I want, to learn from that. The more and more you look at your car, your phones, your computers, everything is becoming non-serviceable because you can say, oh, it's a design thing to make it tiny, but it's also a thing that keeps you stuck to them. They give a software update and you're stuck. You can't downgrade software anymore. It's all about them being in control. They don't want you working on your car anymore. If you start going these electric cars, you can't work on it anymore. They can do a software upgrade to take your doggone features away. You know, so gun rights have been infringed upon because if we really the clause that what people don't get, the thing that people don't get, is not about hunting. When people are evil and they're gonna rob people, doggone it, people were stoning people and killing them. People were stabbing you. People can smother you in your sleep. People don't need a gun to kill you. A gun equalizes any and everyone. A little person crippled with a gun can match somebody else. You know, a gun versus gun or whatever the case is. A woman can actually be, can match a dude at that point. Otherwise, nature wins. You're crippled, you're a woman, and whatever, this dude's stronger, you're not gonna win. They got an advantage over you, you know. So they want to take our guns away because the number one thing says that it's not for hunting. It is 100% for fighting off the government. That's why the people should always have their guns. Period. Period. It's no other country has that. And they want us to be like all those other countries. And they're always saying, oh, well, look at socialism here, or look at this there. Okay, if those places were so great, why are those people trying to come to America? Shoot, America ain't perfect, but I don't want to be anywhere else. I'm sorry. I don't want to be anywhere else. You know, someone said John Deere. You can look on YouTube videos right now. You can't fix your John Deere tractor. Everyone always tries to make it seem like it's for safety or, you know, quality control or something like that. It's not. It's to keep you tied to them. My brother lives in Germany and they don't even want you changing the oil over there. You know, cool. No, you're going to void the warranty. Voiding the warranty by changing your oil. You know, everything I just did on my boat, the boat shop had $125 an hour. You know, and everything they said, oh, bring it in, blah, blah, blah. There was a guy there who was happy. He said, whoa, this is the fastest 2 weeks I've ever, you know, had. And I'm thinking, well, is it because he's been stuck in the house with COVID? He got his boat dropped off and he's been all this anticipation to get his boat back. I just took a day and worked on my boat and did everything that the service manual had in to do. In fact, it came with the instructions on the boat, how to do every little thing that I did. The information's out there on YouTube. You know, I want to be able to do everything myself. I work on my own car. I just changed the oil in my other vehicle yesterday before I left, you know. And there's two reasons why I like to be DIY. Number one thing is, like Danny said, he's a mechanic. There's a thing on there when I actually know what he's doing and he says, oh, that's going to be $450. I'm going to say, here, take my money, because I don't have the tools for that. I don't got the time for that or the expertise. Take my money. You're not even ripping me off. It's such a deal because I understand what you have to do until I don't want to do it. And other things I look at and say, like, nope, I'm not paying for no doggone fuel injector cleaner. You're not going to take my fuel injectors off and really clean them up. You're about to throw some old snake oil up in the engine and run it, but you're going to charge me $150 because I think that, you know, that's, you know, that's not free labor. You pay it yourself. Now go pay yourself, whatever that shop rate is. I've done that plenty of times. I'm like, I cut my own grass. I don't have anybody coming in my yard cutting my grass. You know, I cut my own hair. Now, before it was just shaving bald, I was cutting my own hair. Anywhere I can save money, that's what goes back into my toys, into my hobbies, because that's money I get to pay myself with. I'm working for myself. This week, I just painted my patio, painted the wall. I did a lot of work on the house. Felt good. Felt doggone good. You know, I work for myself, you know, and that's what we're getting away from in America. America used to be great because it was American made, the American quality. There were some people who put out products in America that were so good until it put them out of business because they didn't need another refrigerator. Refrigerators used to last, hot water heaters used to last 30 years, things like that. Now we can't get them to last 3 years. Oh, you want one to have a 3-year warranty? Pay another $200. A 5-year warranty or a 10-year warranty, pay a little bit more money. Everything's cheaped out. And we the people are okay with it. We are okay with being screwed. We are okay with cell phones. Yes, I was about to go right there with computers. Cell phones. Oh, my phone's getting old. Let me get a new phone. I'm trying to work my phone right now until the wheels fall off. It's got to break. That's what I've been trying to do for the last few years. I've got to either break it or it completely dies. Apple was just found out that they were crippling the phones doggone a few years ago. So I used to say it every time I got a software update on my Apple junk, it got worse. And it was a fact. They just want us to continue to just give us our money, give us the money, and we just do it with a smile. Oh, I need a new phone so I can do the same thing I've been doing for the last 5 years with it. Why you need a new phone? Um, shoot. Once I get out of California, I strap up. I got a concealed carry. I'm still working on my one for California, but it's not because I'm like I trust a gun. A gun is not an equalizer. I mean, it's not a solution to everything. It is an equalizer. It's not a solution to everything, but you just don't know. You're out there cutting. I work in my garage a lot at night. Look on my how many people have been working in their house. Somebody on next door just had somebody left their garage door open, and they caught them on camera, but cameras don't do anything. People walked in their garage, stole their generator. There was a guy last year, I think, in California, in his garage, and guys came into his garage to rob him, boldly, to rob him, and he had his gun on him, and he, was able to defend himself. Self-defense. People come into your house. Thing is about California versus a country, and I mean the country, I mean the backwoods, And this is my experience. In California, people will go through there and kick in your door, your neighbor's door in broad daylight. They're stealing people's mailboxes. They come through and steal a whole mailbox in the neighborhood. But you got that country road in Arkansas that the mailbox is sitting there that don't get touched, and Mr. So-and-so's house over there that don't get touched. And there's a reason. Because it's understood truth. That dude might shoot you. You don't have any. The criminal isn't the only person with a gun in the country or in other states. California, the criminals know right now the laws pretty much protect them. Because the government is not here to protect us. They want to disarm us, not so because we don't need it. It's because they don't want it against them. That's the whole reason. It doesn't stop crime. When people want to do crime, they do crime. There has not been one law that has stopped a criminal from being a criminal, right? That's why they're criminals. No matter what law you put in place, what laws do is control people like us. It controls me because I don't want to be labeled a criminal. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to doggone lose any of my rights. I don't want to take the chance. So I'm going to comply. Yeah, California is pretty much own country. When you leave, man, when I cross this borderline in a few minutes, it's just like I enter into the real world. I enter into a sane world. In California, everything's going to kill you. The same stuff that's everywhere else. I love the weather in California. I actually really like where I live. California is just the politics and mainly the politics. That's all it is the politics. California has been run. California is huge. I just drove a lot of California. But out here in the desert, the life isn't the same as it is in San Francisco or Los Angeles. But yet, since those got so many people in that mindset, that group thinking, they're making laws for people out here. That's not right. California should really be split. Cut off Los Angeles, cut off San Francisco. Let them be their own pot. They need their own rules in those little areas. They're all junky and nasty anyhow. Coming inland, those people live differently. They live totally different lives. It's more like actual America. A lot of us don't live in cities. We live outside the cities, and I grew up in the country. I understand both sides of things. I used to say I was kind of liberal or whatever as far as things like that, but after moving to California, I started seeing it's such an imbalance. I had to start questioning a lot of the things I used to think because it didn't make sense. It doesn't help me. All these things that say they're going to help me doesn't help me. And in fact, it keeps on restricting me. I feel restricted. Why? I don't do anything. I try my best to be good to everyone. I try my best to follow laws. But I have to figure out something. A lot of these laws do one thing. They fine you and it puts more money into the government. That's all it does. That's all these laws do. It doesn't make us safe. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, or a lot of people said that it was because a lot of those Californians start moving up north. People in Texas don't want Californians. I don't know if I should even drive with my California plate when I start driving through these places. They're like, oh shoot, this dude got a truck full of junk and a boat with California plate. He's moving here and bringing bringing that crap politics and ideas with him. You know, I might get stoned once I cross out of California. I might need to cover it up. But you know, Texas says don't California my state. Idaho is pissed off because see, I'm naming all the states where a lot of Californians go. They go up north, Oregon and Washington. They messed it up a long time ago. But then they're going to Idaho. They're going to Texas. You know, and all these other places because they're trying to get something similar. They either like the West Coast or that Texas is a good new hot spot industry and everything like that. Similar weather in some places. You know. So, you know, it's you want to go somewhere that you heard is nice, but then you take everything else that you're doing there and then mess it up, and you don't understand why it got messed up in the first place because of what you did. Gavin Newsom in California is trying to run for president, people. He is the one who started all this crap with the way everyone else did it because he was the first one to start doing this shelter in place crap, and everyone else just start following suit because no one there were some people who said we're not going to play this game, and they were shamed by the media and everyone else, and they eventually start playing the game. But he's trying to do this stuff because he wants to seem like such a good guy, and everyone's just going to vote him in. You do not want that for yourself. So, you know, California is I hate to even get to the party type thing, but California's been run by Democrats for so long, and for all the stuff that you hear, you have to think, maybe they're not doing something right. Maybe if it's not right, they're in control. They've been in control for a long time. In fact, they're in such control until there's no balance. So truly, people aren't being represented in California. You know, it's only one side being represented, and that's what I think I got against the left right now the most is that if you do not agree, then you're an enemy, you're racist, you're this, you're that. They will never try to reason. They can hate, they can stone, they can riot, they can beat up stuff, they can call you out, they can do whatever. They can do all this stuff. But if they do it back to you, then they get upset. Now, it's not all left ideas, because personally, I'm pretty balanced. Like I said, I like things my way, but I don't try to tell people what to do. I want you to do whatever you got to do for yourself. You know, long as you're not hurting kids, animals, you're not doggone, needing anything from me, do whatever you got to do. Because me, I try to do my best to be, this is what nature is. There's nothing more real than nature. Nature says you put in, you get what you put in. The squirrels and the animals, the squirrels go and gather up nuts all doggone season while they can, because there's going to be a time that comes when there's not going to be anything to eat. So I have to have something saved up. In the springtime and everything, when everything is abundance, I can go out and gorge. Fall time comes, the bears and other animals go out there and fatten up. They do whatever because they say, I know what's about to happen. But we as people, we continue to break the rules of nature. We didn't always do this. The more and more society gets better, the less dependent on ourselves and community that we are. You can look at the fall of Rome did not happen because they were conquered. They were the top. They were at the top so long until they forgot how they got there. And that's what's happening to America. And we are, I hate to say it, but I mean, we're primed for a takeover soon. Everyone thinks that the world is going to be this whole, this peace thing. No, it's not. It's never been that way. There's always somebody else looking to take you down. And there are other people looking to take us down. You know what they're doing? They own everything over here. We have such a dependency on China. Everything is made in China. In fact, we couldn't call China out for holding back this information because COVID was around for a lot longer. In fact, the Democrats didn't care because they were too busy trying to impeach Trump. COVID was already around. It was, you could barely find it in the news then. I heard about COVID in China when I was hunting. And I was hunting in November and December. But no, the world didn't doggone care then. But we got such a dependency on China until if we did call them out, they could say, which they won't, because they want the money. But okay, sorry about that. If those jobs were in America, how many more jobs could Americans have? How many more people could be working on those same type of jobs? What about the quality? Would the quality rise up again? Would there be more pride in the more Americans' hands to say, man, I just went out and worked hard and I made my money and, I can take care of myself? The more and more we export, the more and more we have people not working. Why are we trying to take care of the world more than we're trying to take care of America? I'm not trying to say nothing against anybody. I'm just trying to say right now is that this is where we live. If we got the resource, no, corporation want to keep on saving money. Screw you. China, Apple gets their phone made for about like $300 and they get to sell it for $1,200. And we are okay with it. We're okay with it. We say, well, I got Apple stock, so it's good. I love designed in California, made in China. How about just back to made in America? Now everything says made in America with global parts because the parts are made in China. Because we decided a long time ago to screw Americans and not have the factories here. And we tricked our Americans by saying, you're helping that person in Africa and China and everything else who only gets a penny a day. Now they get to make 15 a quarter. They can move out of the shanty house. They never move out. You got people in China jumping out of buildings and stuff, being overworked, depressed. But we get to live this entitled life. That's not right. Those are the people in charge, and that's on both sides. That's on both sides. So, we call this thing fishing again, and we start going down path of politics and everything. I know the video messed up. I tried to bring it back. It could have been Google. I'll say this last thing. Not only are gun rights being infringed upon, but our First Amendment rights. YouTube is censoring everyone's video. My video might be censored because I said something against a political party. Those doctors who start saying, hey, we're not seeing the information right. The CDC is saying this or what have you, but what we're seeing doesn't match up. Something's not right. Their video got taken down. They were experts. They were more involved in this than Fauci ever was. But they got censored. Everyone is getting censored. If you do not agree with the media machine, you are censored. So all I can say is if you think that your rights are not being infringed upon, if you have believed the hype that giving up your rights saves people, you need to think about it just a little bit longer, because who are you really saving? Are you saving you and your family? Or your family, then yourself possibly? Are you going to be a sacrificial lamb for your family? Nah, it sounds like you're sacrificing for those politicians, for that little small percentage that likes to be in control. They didn't change their life. Look at videos. How many times these politicians on TV wearing masks, doing all this type of stuff, that video goes off and it goes away. They take it all off and start talking and shaking hands. Newscast. They're not even doggone dressed up. The person on the screen is, no one around them is. No one is social distancing. All these celebrities out there talking crap. It's all because of control. They're painting a picture that doesn't exist. People always say, Jamie, man, I heard it's bad in California. My life hasn't changed. I don't see this epidemic. I don't see, the issue other than it being forced upon me. I've known 5 or 6 people that got this thing. None of them died. Some of them got sick. Some of them were bad sick. Some of them weren't sick at all. They just got it. And I'm going to say this last thing. These tests, I don't trust the test. I think they're designed to catch the lowest bearing fruit they can so numbers can rise up. If it was really that bad, people be falling in the streets. You would see it. You would directly see it. And people say, Jamie, you don't have anyone affected. I do know a person who died, but they had all these other health conditions. Did they really have COVID? I've known a lot of people who've actually died during this time that they were labeled COVID, but they didn't have a cotton picking COVID symptom. Something not right, people. Something's not right. So I'm going to end it with this. That's why I'm going fishing. So I hope that you all get to go fishing too. Stay tuned. It's getting dark now. I got a good little rest right there talking with you all for almost an hour and a half. So we're going to go ahead and get back on the road. If you're anywhere close, shoot me something on Instagram, anything like that. I'm going to try to get these products out to you no matter what, try to get some people in. I definitely appreciate you all chiming in. You know, if you all like this type of content, I know some people don't. They say, Jamie, just go fishing. Jamie, just post some on the boat. Jamie, just do this. I don't like these parts. I don't want to hear about hunting. I get it. Cool. You know, that's why we like TV. I'm flipping the channel sometimes. Yep, I don't want to see that. I turn to something else. You know, I try to title my videos appropriately, but it's called Jamie Aston. You get me, what I'm doing. You know, whatever's hot on the season right now. But with that said, it's not that I'm saying screw anybody. I don't care what you think. I take into consideration what everyone thinks, but at the end of the day, it's still, you're getting me, and I hope that, you know, you like, you know, whatever you like about me, I hope it's good. Whatever else, you know, if it's not your cup of tea, tune out, you know. It's okay with me, you know what I mean? But I definitely still try to please, I try to please to the point where it doesn't infringe me. So anywho, I hope you all have a safe night. It's 8:30. I'm gonna go ahead and start back driving. You all take care. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care of you, everyone. Leave your comments. If you watch the video anytime, you know, leave some comments or shoot me an email. Hey, number one thing, even if you're left, if you have a strong difference of opinion on anything I say, I'm not the type of person that says I don't want to hear it. I like to talk to those type of people because I get to learn something new. I get to see something from a perspective that I didn't think about it beforehand. And my mind has been blown many times. Many times. I'm not stuck in my ways. That's why all I'm trying to ask people to do is just think. Just think about it. Don't just follow. Don't just eat whatever somebody's giving you. Think about it for a moment. See if it still makes sense. Look at it from a different percent. I don't hunt. I hate guns. I'm afraid of guns. Okay, great. But there are plenty of people who do, and they ain't out there doing anything to anyone. They out there, that's how they get their food. That's all organic, no hormones, everything else, you know. So obviously, you know, you can't believe all the media. You cannot believe the media. The media is one reason. Does one thing, that's to control us. They feed us the ideas that all X are bad, or all this is okay, or this is acceptable, everything, because we just consume. We sit back and we consume all day long. We got to get out and be involved. And then the more and more you involve, the more and more you start to see that some stuff don't make sense. Or you realize how something does make sense. So anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the road. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for the video interruption. I'm on cellular service and everything like that. So we're in the desert. It worked. I'm at a rest stop, but we're about to get back on the road. So you all take care. Thank you.